Across the oceans, a quiet migration has begun. Billionaires are moving their wealth to private islands. From the outside, these islands look like paradise, but behind the beauty lies something much bigger. Inside these villas, billion-dollar decisions are made, far away from public eyes. One island becomes two, two become 10, until an entire hidden network begins to appear. Beneath the paradise lies the real system protecting billionaire wealth. Privacy at this level requires extraordinary protection. For billionaires, the ocean has become a private highway. These islands are not isolated. They remain connected to the entire global economy. Power, privacy, and total control over their own world. When night falls, the network becomes even more active. Together, these islands form a new map of global wealth. Paradise on the surface, but beneath it, a hidden system of billionaire power. From a distance, the island looks untouched by the modern world, a quiet piece of land surrounded by endless ocean and silence. But for the wealthiest people on Earth, places like this are becoming something far more valuable than paradise. They are becoming strategic destinations. Entire islands are now being purchased, redesigned, and quietly transformed into private financial shelters, not simply for luxury, but for something deeper and far more powerful, a place where wealth can disappear from the reach of the outside world. For decades, billionaires searched the world for places where their wealth could remain invisible. Swiss banks once provided that secrecy, but global regulations changed everything. Financial transparency began tightening around traditional offshore systems, and suddenly, the ultra-wealthy needed a new strategy, not just hidden accounts, hidden territories, places where ownership itself could reshape the rules of money. The modern offshore strategy is no longer only financial. It has become geographical. Owning the land itself changes everything. Because when a billionaire controls an entire island, they control access, they control infrastructure, and in some cases, they influence the legal environment surrounding it. What appears to be a private retreat can quietly operate as a financial fortress. Inside these island estates, daily life blends luxury with control. Private chefs prepare breakfast, helicopters arrive and depart. But behind the comfort sits an invisible system of global coordination. Financial decisions, corporate movements, and investment flows can all begin here, far away from public attention, far away from the political noise of major cities, and far away from the laws designed to monitor traditional financial centers. What began as a rare luxury has now become a pattern. Across the Caribbean, the Pacific, and parts of the Mediterranean, entire islands are changing ownership. Not by governments, not by tourism developers, but by private individuals whose fortunes exceed the budgets of small nations. These purchases are rarely announced, often structured through layers of holding companies, and almost always designed to attract as little attention as possible. Because these islands are not only homes, they are financial architecture, structures designed carefully by lawyers, economists, and advisors. Ownership networks stretch across multiple jurisdictions. Corporate shells connect assets to territories with extremely limited taxation, and the island itself becomes the anchor point for the entire system, a physical location supporting a carefully engineered financial universe. Control is the key principle behind these private islands. Every road, dock, and building is designed to manage movement. Guests arrive through specific routes. Supplies move through separate corridors. Security systems quietly monitor the entire perimeter. This level of control allows the estate to operate almost like a sovereign territory, a world with its own rhythm, rules, and priorities. What most visitors never see lies below the surface. Many of these islands contain hidden infrastructure, secure communication systems, private data networks, and occasionally entire underground facilities designed to protect valuable assets. The island above may look like paradise, but beneath it, the real purpose quietly continues operating. To visitors, these islands feel like perfect luxury escapes. Elegant gatherings unfold beside the ocean. Helicopters bring friends from distant cities, and the atmosphere remains calm, private, and exclusive. But behind the beauty lies a deeper strategy. Because these islands are not only designed for comfort, they are designed for protection. For the ultra-wealthy, isolation offers something priceless. Distance from governments, distance from scrutiny, distance from the unpredictable pressures of the global economy. An island provides the illusion of independence, a place where wealth can move, evolve, and grow beyond the constant observation of the outside world. The logistics behind these islands reveal their real function. Private airstrips eliminate the need for commercial airports. Aircraft arrive directly from major financial capitals. Passengers step out of jets carrying information, agreements, and decisions worth billions. The island becomes a direct link between global finance and private territory. No crowds, no terminals, no public records of arrival. This hidden layer of infrastructure is rarely discussed. Many billionaire islands now operate private operations hubs. These rooms track markets, coordinate global investments, and manage vast financial networks. The island itself may appear remote, but digitally, it remains connected to every major financial center in the world. The silence of the ocean hides an intense flow of economic activity. As more billionaires adopt the strategy, entire island regions begin transforming. One purchase quietly encourages another. Soon, neighboring islands change hands as well. An archipelago that once hosted fishing villages may become an elite financial sanctuary, each island privately owned, each estate carefully designed, each territory functioning as a silent node in a much larger system. Once the island is secured, transformation begins immediately. Luxury residences appear first. Then airstrips, marinas, and underground infrastructure follow. Each project expands the island's ability to operate independently. The goal is complete self-sufficiency, an environment capable of supporting global wealth without relying on outside systems. Security becomes the second foundation of the island strategy. Wealth at this scale attracts attention, so protection must be absolute. Private surveillance systems monitor every coastline approach. Patrol boats guard the surrounding waters, and advanced monitoring technology ensures nothing moves near the island unnoticed. Yachts play another essential role in this ecosystem. They move between island territories without relying on conventional ports. Agreements are discussed on board, assets are transferred discreetly, and entire meetings can occur far from the reach of mainland oversight. The ocean becomes both highway and shield. From this height, the island appears completely detached from the world. That separation is intentional. Isolation provides the ultimate form of privacy. For those controlling enormous fortunes, distance becomes security. The ocean forms a natural barrier between wealth and outside influence. As night falls, the island begins revealing its true scale. Lights illuminate villas scattered across the hills. Private aircraft return to their hangars. Yachts settle quietly in protected bays. The estate becomes a self-contained world, a place where wealth circulates silently beneath the cover of luxury. Night does not bring rest to places like this. Security systems remain active every hour. Every approaching vessel is identified. Every movement across the water is tracked. The island sleeps only on the surface. Beneath it, vigilance never stops. Below the surface lies another dimension of the island. Vaults protect sensitive records. Data centers store encrypted financial systems. Digital networks connect the island to global markets. The infrastructure resembles that of a secure financial institution, yet it exists beneath a private residence. This movement is not isolated. Across the world, more billionaires are adopting the same model, entire islands becoming personal territories, each one functioning as a node in a global network of private wealth. Together, they form something unprecedented, a new geography of financial power. Major financial decisions are often made in places exactly like this, far from city towers, far from government buildings, within private spaces controlled entirely by the people attending. The environment itself reinforces the power of independence. Protection extends even beneath the waterline. Advanced sensors monitor submarine movement near the island. Diving teams inspect underwater cables and structures. Because when wealth reaches this level, security becomes multi-layered. Once the island is secured, transformation begins immediately. Luxury residences appear first, then airstrips, marinas, and underground infrastructure follow. Each project expands the island's ability to operate independently. The goal is complete self-sufficiency. Over time, the island evolves into an elite enclave. Arrivals often include advisors, investors, and allies. The island becomes a meeting point for powerful individuals. Deals are discussed, strategies are planned, and the outside world rarely learns what decisions were made. The network expands quietly across the seas. One island connects to another, then another, until entire regions become privately controlled environments of wealth and influence. Life here still includes celebration, luxury dinners, private gatherings, moments of calm overlooking the sea. But beneath every moment remains the quiet awareness of what this island truly represents. Morning returns quietly across the island, but the purpose behind it never truly sleeps. Financial decisions continue. Global connections remain active, and the island stands ready for whatever the next movement of wealth requires. At the center of it all stands the individual who made it possible, the owner of the island, a person whose wealth reshaped an entire piece of the planet. Yet even here, decisions continue. Because wealth at this scale is never static. Nature remains the only force beyond human control here. Storms arrive from distant horizons, winds sweep across the cliffs. But the estate endures, a fortress of wealth built to withstand uncertainty. Wealth stored here takes many forms, not only financial assets, but art, history, and culture as well. The island becomes a vault for the world's rarest possessions. Seen from the sky, the island appears almost mythical, a private kingdom rising from the ocean. But behind the beauty lies a quiet strategy, a place where global wealth finds refuge. Even in isolation, connectivity remains essential. Satellite networks and secure communication systems link the island to the world. From here, information travels instantly across continents. By nightfall, the island returns to silence, yet its influence continues spreading far beyond the horizon. Financial decisions made here ripple across the global economy. To the outside world, it remains just another beautiful island, a quiet paradise surrounded by endless sea. But beneath the surface lies a different reality, a place where wealth relocates, strategies unfold, and fortunes quietly reshape the future. And this island is only the beginning. The island strategy does not stop with a single estate. Across certain regions of the world, entire island chains are quietly changing hands. One billionaire purchases an island, another follows soon after. Within a few years, entire archipelagos begin transforming into private territories of extreme wealth. Each island operates independently, yet together they form something far more powerful, a distributed network of private financial safe havens. Behind every island purchase lies an intricate legal design. Ownership rarely appears under a single name. Instead, it moves through layers of offshore companies and trusts. Each entity is registered in a different jurisdiction. Each structure serves a specific legal purpose. Together, they create a maze that makes tracing the real owner extraordinarily difficult. These islands are not passive retreats. They function as operational hubs. From here, billionaires coordinate global investments worth tens of billions. Companies move across borders. Assets shift between jurisdictions. And the island becomes the quiet anchor point for a vast financial network. Connectivity is critical to the island model. Despite their remote appearance, these estates maintain powerful communication systems. Satellite networks connect them instantly to financial markets. Encrypted servers protect sensitive information. And private digital infrastructure ensures that the island remains both isolated and globally connected at the same time. Marinas play a critical role in this offshore ecosystem. Yachts move quietly between island estates and international ports. They transport guests, advisors, and sometimes sensitive cargo. Unlike airports, yacht routes leave far fewer public records. This mobility allows billionaires to travel and conduct business discreetly across the seas. From the terrace, the ocean appears endless. But beneath the calm surface lies a quiet network of influence. Each island represents an independent center of wealth. Together, they form a new geography of financial power, one that operates far beyond the traditional oversight of governments. Beneath the luxury lies another layer of protection. Many billionaire islands contain secure vault systems. These facilities store sensitive documents, encrypted data, and occasionally valuable physical assets. Designed with advanced security, they ensure that the island can function as a fortress of wealth. The island may feel peaceful, but inside its command rooms, global markets are constantly monitored. Every shift in currency, every movement in stock prices, every political change affecting financial systems. From this remote location, billionaires can react instantly to protect their fortunes. Security extends far beyond the estate itself. The surrounding ocean becomes part of the defense system. Patrol boats monitor approaching vessels. Advanced sensors detect movement miles away. This layered protection ensures that privacy remains absolute. Important conversations often happen during moments like these, away from city boardrooms and corporate headquarters. Deals worth billions can begin over a quiet dinner overlooking the sea. The island provides the perfect setting for confidential discussions. From the sky, the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. One island alone might appear like a simple luxury purchase, but when several appear within the same region, the strategy becomes visible. Entire archipelagos are gradually shifting into private ownership. These islands are no longer isolated retreats. They are forming clusters of controlled territory where wealth quietly concentrates. Decisions made inside these rooms influence far more than the island itself. Investment routes are planned across continents. Corporate headquarters shift jurisdictions. Assets move quietly between financial systems. The island becomes the place where these strategies are coordinated away from public oversight. The ocean itself becomes the transportation network of this hidden economy. Yachts move quietly between islands, carrying guests, advisors, and sensitive information. Unlike commercial travel, these journeys leave almost no trace. Routes are flexible, records are private, and the sea offers a natural shield from observation. Protection becomes more sophisticated as the network expands. These estates rely on advanced monitoring systems normally found in military installations. Radar, drones, and satellite tracking ensure every approach is identified. The goal is simple: absolute privacy. Once an island is secured, expansion begins immediately. Luxury residences appear for family members and trusted partners. Infrastructure grows to support private aviation, maritime access, and secure communication. Over time, the island evolves into a complete self-contained environment. Beneath the beauty of the island lies the true engine of its power. Data centers track markets and investments across the globe. Financial movements worth billions are monitored in real time. This hidden digital infrastructure allows the island to function as a private financial headquarters. Standing here, the distance from the outside world feels absolute. No city noise, no crowded streets, only ocean and sky. For billionaires seeking independence from traditional systems, that isolation becomes the ultimate advantage. The network continues spreading quietly. One island becomes two, two become five. Eventually, entire regions transform into exclusive enclaves of private wealth. Many of the world's most important private conversations now happen in places like this. Far from boardrooms and financial districts, these islands provide the privacy required for decisions that may influence global markets. Nature remains the only force these islands cannot control. Storms arrive without warning. Winds sweep across the ocean. But the estates are engineered to endure. Fortresses built not only against weather, but against uncertainty. Despite their remote location, these islands remain connected to the world through powerful communication systems. Satellite links and encrypted networks allow instant coordination with financial centers across continents. Seen from above, the system finally becomes visible. Not isolated estates, but an interconnected network of private wealth. Even beneath the ocean surface, security continues. Sensors monitor underwater movement. Divers inspect critical cables and systems. Protection extends into every dimension surrounding the island. Morning returns across the islands, but the system behind them never stops moving. Financial flows continue, decisions travel across continents, and the quiet geography of billionaire power grows stronger each day. What began as private luxury estates has evolved into something far more significant: a new geography of wealth, quiet, hidden, and powerful enough to reshape the global financial landscape. Movement between these islands rarely attracts attention. Yachts carry advisors, investors, and sometimes valuable assets between estates. The routes change constantly, the schedules remain private, and the ocean provides an enormous shield from observation. For those who control these islands, the sea becomes a silent transportation network connecting their hidden world. Inside these villas, conversations unfold that rarely appear in public records. Investment strategies are debated. Global corporate movements are planned. Financial risks are calculated carefully. The island offers the perfect environment for such discussions, far from regulation, media attention, and political pressure. Security beneath the ocean is just as important as security above it. Sensitive communication cables and monitoring devices run along the seabed. Underwater sensors detect approaching vessels long before they reach the island. This layered protection ensures the estate remains shielded from intrusion in every direction. From this vantage point, the island appears completely detached from the world. Yet its influence extends far beyond the horizon. Decisions made here can ripple across international markets. Entire industries can feel the consequences of strategies planned inside these quiet estates. Protection never truly stops here. Even during the quiet hours of night, the island remains under constant watch. Every approaching vessel is tracked. Every movement across the water is monitored. The isolation that makes these islands powerful also demands relentless vigilance. Wealth stored on these islands is not limited to financial assets. Rare art, historical artifacts, and cultural treasures often reside here as well. Private collections rival the holdings of major museums, and unlike public institutions, these collections remain hidden from the world. From above, the full scale of this hidden network becomes visible. Not isolated properties, but a constellation of private territories scattered across the ocean. Together, they represent a new geography of global wealth. Despite their remote appearance, these islands remain fully connected to the global financial system. Secure communication networks allow instant coordination with markets around the world. Isolation and connectivity coexist in perfect balance. Morning returns across the archipelago, but the system behind these islands never truly rests. Financial flows continue moving quietly through hidden channels. Strategies evolve. Wealth shifts from one territory to another. What appears to the world as luxury paradise hides something far more complex. A global network of private islands quietly reshaping the geography of wealth. Hidden from ordinary view, protected by distance, secrecy, and immense financial power. And the deeper this network expands, the more it changes how the richest people on Earth control their fortunes. As billionaire islands multiplied across the oceans, the pattern slowly began attracting attention. Governments noticed the rising number of private territories appearing beyond traditional oversight. Financial regulators began asking difficult questions. Why were so many powerful individuals relocating their wealth to remote islands? And what exactly was happening inside these isolated estates? Regulators began tracing complex financial structures connected to island estates. What they discovered was deeply complicated. Ownership chains stretched across multiple countries and legal systems. Tracing the true origin of wealth became increasingly difficult. Each island appeared to sit at the center of a carefully constructed financial web. The phenomenon was not limited to one location. Caribbean islands, Pacific atolls, and Mediterranean coastlines all began seeing similar patterns. Entire regions were quietly shifting into the hands of ultra-wealthy individuals. These islands did not operate like normal private homes. They behaved more like independent economic zones. Investigative journalists soon joined the search for answers. Leaks, financial records, and satellite imagery began revealing fragments of the hidden system. But every discovery led to new layers of complexity. The deeper investigators looked, the more sophisticated the network appeared. Security around billionaire islands continued increasing. Private defense systems monitored both land and sea approaches. Surveillance drones patrolled the skies. The estates were beginning to resemble protected enclaves rather than luxury homes. Economists began studying the trend more closely. Some argued that billionaire islands represented a new evolution of global finance. Others warned that the movement could weaken national tax systems. The debate quickly spread through academic and political circles. Despite growing scrutiny, construction continued. New estates appeared each year, airstrips expanded. Marinas deepened to accommodate larger yachts. The billionaire island network kept growing quietly. Technology played a major role in maintaining island independence. Secure satellite systems connected estates directly to global markets. Encrypted networks protected sensitive data. Even in the most remote oceans, these islands remained digitally powerful. Mobility between islands became routine. Yachts, helicopters, and private aircraft formed the transportation backbone of the network. Travel between these territories remained discreet and flexible. For those who own these islands, the advantages are undeniable. Distance provides privacy, control provides security, and ownership provides a level of independence rarely possible elsewhere. From above, the scale becomes clear. This is no longer a scattered collection of luxury homes. It is a growing geography of private wealth. Behind the beauty of these islands lies intense financial activity. Markets are monitored continuously. Investments move rapidly across international borders. Protection remains the foundation of the island system. Privacy is enforced not only by distance but by advanced security. Wealth stored here goes far beyond financial accounts. Art, rare artifacts, and historical collections often reside inside these estates. Nature remains the only force that cannot be negotiated with. Storms remind these isolated territories that the ocean still holds ultimate authority. Even in isolation, these islands remain deeply connected to the world's digital systems. Nightfall transforms the island into a quiet center of private power. Guests gather for a private dinner overlooking the ocean. While the world sleeps, financial planning continues inside these secluded estates. Strategy meetings persist long after dark. By night, the islands appear calm, yet beneath the surface, their influence continues spreading. The Billionaire Island network continues expanding quietly across the world's oceans, a hidden geography of wealth that grows more powerful each year. From the outside, these islands still appear like peaceful luxury retreats, but investigators increasingly believe something more complex is unfolding. The concentration of wealth within these territories continues growing. And with that concentration comes influence powerful enough to shape global financial systems. Governments around the world have begun examining these developments more closely. Regulators suspect that some billionaire islands may function as highly sophisticated tax shelters. Yet, proving this connection remains extremely difficult. Ownership networks stretch through multiple jurisdictions, making direct oversight nearly impossible. Entire coastal regions are now witnessing this transformation. Where fishing villages once dominated the landscape, billionaire estates now rise above the sea. The change has been gradual but unmistakable, and with each new island purchase, the network becomes more difficult to ignore. Journalists have uncovered fragments of the hidden structure. Satellite imagery reveals airstrips, underground facilities, and advanced infrastructure across several islands. Yet the complete picture remains elusive. Each discovery opens new questions rather than providing clear answers. Security continues intensifying around these estates. The growing attention from regulators and journalists has only increased the desire for privacy. Surveillance systems monitor every approach. Visitors are carefully screened, and the islands remain closed to anyone without explicit invitation. Behind the quiet beaches lies a sophisticated financial command structure. Investment flows are monitored continuously. Corporate strategies evolve in real time. The island may appear remote, but it remains deeply connected to the world economy. At night, the network becomes even more visible from the sky. Lights reveal the presence of multiple estates scattered across the ocean. Each island operates independently, yet together they form a powerful constellation of private wealth. With growing global attention, these islands continue reinforcing their security infrastructure. Protection has become both practical and symbolic. A message that privacy will be defended at every level. For the individuals who own these islands, the advantages remain undeniable. Privacy, control, and distance from the unpredictable forces shaping global politics and economics. The islands also serve as vaults for priceless cultural assets. Rare art collections, historical artifacts, and valuable objects often reside here. Storms occasionally remind these estates that nature remains the ultimate force. Yet even against powerful winds and waves, the islands endure. Despite their isolation, these islands remain digitally connected to the world's financial systems. Encrypted networks maintain the flow of global data. From above, the network reveals its full scale, a quiet constellation of private territories spread across the oceans. Inside these islands, conversations continue long after the outside world sleeps. Strategy meetings and financial planning persist in absolute seclusion. What once looked like scattered luxury retreats has now become something much larger, a hidden geography of power. A network of islands where the world's richest individuals quietly reshape the future of global wealth. At first glance, these islands look like nothing more than luxury escapes. Private beaches, beautiful villas, and endless oceans surrounding them. But when seen together, the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. Across the world's most remote waters, billionaire-owned islands are quietly forming a new geography of power. Not political power, not military power, but financial power on a scale the world has never seen before. Over the last decade, economists began noticing something unusual. The world's richest individuals were quietly moving enormous portions of their wealth away from traditional financial centers. Instead of relying solely on offshore accounts, they were beginning to anchor their fortunes to physical territory. Entire islands were becoming the foundation of new financial strategies. Territories where wealth could be protected not just by law, but by geography itself. In some regions, the transformation has become impossible to hide. What were once quiet islands are now part of a growing constellation of billionaire estates, each property privately owned, each estate connected by aircraft, yachts, and encrypted communications. Individually, they appear isolated, but together they form something much larger, a silent network of global wealth. Inside these villas, conversations unfold that rarely reach the outside world. Investment decisions worth billions are debated across quiet conference tables. Corporate strategies are mapped across continents, and entire industries may feel the ripple effects of decisions made here, far away from stock exchange floors, far away from government chambers. Mobility is one of the greatest advantages these islands provide. Private jets move directly between global financial capitals and secluded island runways. Helicopters connect neighboring estates across the sea, and luxury yachts quietly carry passengers across waters that rarely attract public attention. For the ultra-wealthy, the ocean has become the ultimate private highway. Beneath the surface beauty of these islands lies their true engine. Hidden digital infrastructure connects the estates to global financial systems. Encrypted servers track investment movements across continents. Currency markets, stock exchanges, and commodity trades are monitored in real time. The island may appear remote, but digitally, it remains connected to every financial center on Earth. The ocean itself plays a crucial role in this hidden economy. Yachts move quietly between islands carrying investors, advisors, and sometimes valuable assets. Unlike airports or commercial shipping routes, these journeys remain almost entirely private. Routes change constantly, schedules remain confidential, and the sea provides the perfect cover. Privacy on this scale requires extraordinary protection. Surveillance systems monitor every approach to the island. Radar tracks distant vessels miles away. Patrol boats guard the surrounding waters day and night. For those who control these territories, secrecy is not simply preferred, it is essential. Seen from the sky at night, the network finally becomes visible. Lights appear across dozens of private islands scattered through the ocean, each estate operating independently, each territory connected to the same invisible financial system. What appears to be luxury from a distance is actually something far more strategic. Standing here, the world feels very far away. Cities disappear beyond the horizon. Governments seem distant. Markets appear abstract. Yet decisions made on terraces like this can influence global finance more than entire corporate headquarters. From above, the scale becomes unmistakable. This is no longer a collection of luxury homes. It is a new geography of financial power, a map that exists beyond traditional borders. Wealth stored on these islands is not limited to money. Rare art, historical artifacts, and priceless collections often reside inside these estates, protected by distance, security, and secrecy. From the outside, these estates appear almost peaceful, beautiful architecture surrounded by untouched nature. But the calm surface hides an enormous concentration of global wealth. Inside these islands, assets worth billions are protected, managed, and quietly expanded. The island becomes more than property, it becomes an entire ecosystem of financial influence. Inside these rooms, decisions rarely stay confined to the island itself. Investment strategies can influence industries across continents. Corporations shift headquarters. Assets migrate between jurisdictions. And the quiet discussions happening here may reshape entire sectors of the global economy. Movement between islands remains constant. Yachts travel quietly across the sea carrying investors, advisors, and trusted partners. Unlike commercial travel, these routes remain almost completely private. For the Billionaire Island Network, The ocean serves as a secure corridor connecting territories beyond the reach of public systems. Below the luxury of the estate lies the infrastructure that truly protects the wealth stored here. Secure vault systems safeguard critical documents and digital assets. Encrypted servers store sensitive financial information. The island above may resemble paradise, but beneath it operates a fortress of wealth protection. Standing here, distance becomes power. The island creates separation from governments, media attention, and public scrutiny. For the world's richest individuals, isolation becomes a form of control. And control is the most valuable asset of all. From the sky, the network begins to reveal itself. Dozens of islands scattered across the ocean, each one privately owned, each one connected to a larger system of wealth and influence. Together, they form something entirely new. Privacy at this level demands constant protection. The island's perimeter is monitored around the clock. Every approaching vessel is identified long before it reaches the shore. Secrecy here is not accidental, it is carefully engineered. For the individuals who control these territories, the island offers something few places on Earth can provide: complete distance from the pressures of public systems, a place where wealth, strategy, and power operate quietly beyond the view of the outside world. These islands often become vaults for cultural wealth as well. Artworks worth hundreds of millions may reside here permanently, protected not only by security systems, but by the sheer isolation of the territory itself. Nature occasionally reminds these territories who truly controls the ocean. Storms arrive without warning, winds sweep across the islands. Yet even against nature's power, these estates remain built to endure. Despite their isolation, these islands remain deeply connected to the world's financial systems. Satellite networks and encrypted communications ensure constant contact with global markets. From above, the truth becomes undeniable. This is no longer a collection of luxury retreats. It is a new global landscape of private wealth, hidden in plain sight across the world's oceans. At this level of wealth, ownership changes meaning. These islands are not simply homes or vacation destinations, they are territories. Territories where the richest individuals on Earth can shape their environment, control access, and protect the systems supporting their fortunes. The island becomes more than property. It becomes an extension of power itself. Behind the quiet beaches lies a powerful financial nerve center. Investments worth billions are monitored in real time. Markets move across continents while analysts track every shift. The island may appear remote from the outside world, but digitally, it remains connected to the entire global economy. Across the water, movement continues quietly. Yachts connect one island estate to another, forming a transportation network invisible to most of the world. Passengers travel without public terminals. Cargo moves without commercial shipping records. The sea offers freedom few places on land can provide. Security remains one of the most carefully engineered elements of these estates. Every approach to the island is monitored. Radar tracks distant vessels long before they reach the shore. Patrol teams guard the perimeter around the clock. For those protecting immense wealth, secrecy is not optional. It is essential. Seen from the sky at night, the network finally becomes visible. Dozens of private islands scattered across the ocean, each one owned by individuals whose fortunes influence global markets, each one connected through quiet relationships and shared financial interests. Standing here, the world appears distant. Cities lie far beyond the horizon. Political systems seem removed from daily life. Yet decisions made on terraces like this can influence financial systems across continents. These islands often become vaults for cultural wealth as well. Masterpieces that once hung in public galleries may now reside inside private estates, protected by security systems and geographic isolation. Nature occasionally reminds these territories who truly rules the ocean. Storms arrive with enormous force, yet the estates remain built to endure both environmental and economic uncertainty. Even in extreme isolation, these islands remain deeply connected to the global financial system. Encrypted networks ensure instant communication with markets around the world. From above, the scale becomes impossible to ignore. A quiet constellation of private territories scattered across the sea. Together, they represent a new geography of wealth and influence. To most of the world, these islands will always appear as distant paradise. Beautiful, remote, and mysterious. But beneath that beauty lies a quiet transformation. A new map of wealth forming across the oceans, island by island, estate by estate, until the geography of global power itself begins to change.